I'm Ruby Harrison and I'm the Communications Manager at the Mater Hospital in South Brisbane. As a professional communicator at this organisation, I am expected to lead the development and delivery of successful communication strategies for organisational change projects. I must have a strong team approach and be able to work collaboratively with others. I have a high level of written and verbal communication skills, which allows me to communicate to a professional standard for events, articles, speeches, printed materials, and digital products. When communicating at the hospital, I need to consider my likely audience, important key messages, and how those messages should be delivered. As a communications manager, you're expected to communicate to a very vast and diverse audience. The Mater offers a wide range of services, which means I have to think about how to communicate to different types of people. As a communications manager, I connect to all staff, patients, and the local community. The hospital is used by everyone, so the hospital's intended audience will include family, elderly, different ethnicities, university students, children of all ages, and middle-aged adults. Because we deal with such a broad audience at the Mater, it's important to share all sorts of messages that will appeal to our audience. We communicate many health messages, such as sharing stories of patients and staff, like baby Solomon, who was born at 25 weeks with cerebral palsy, but has shown extraordinary determination by walking. Rama Omar, who is a Sudanese refugee who applied for the Mater Education Diploma of Nursing through a refugee scholarship, and is now working as an assistant in nursing at the Mater Cancer Care Centre. It is also important to announce any health updates or warnings to the public. We believe it's important to let the public know what the Mater is doing for the community. We also announce events and seminars we host for staff and the public. At the Mater, we like to congratulate and acknowledge staff who have received awards, and also inform the community of studies they can partake in. It's important to be consistent and clear with our communication. Using these key messages, we provide clarity and create awareness throughout the Mater community. When you're the communications manager at the Mater Hospital, you need to consider what channels of communication you'll use to deliver your key messages to the diverse audience. I need to identify potential communication channels and activities to engage with the hospital staff, patients, and the community surrounding the hospital. It is important to use familiar communication channels and methods known to reach the intended audience wherever possible. Selwood states, as a communications manager, I organise communications for events, articles, speeches, and printed materials. This means I liaise with media companies for press releases and for articles about the hospital. These media releases are issued via television news, newspaper, and social media. It's important to use many channels when communicating to our audience. This is because our audience includes people of all ages, ethnicities, and impairments. We use social media such as Facebook and Twitter as a quick and easy way to communicate to the community of our key messages. Our other delivery modes we use at the hospital are events and seminars. This is to raise awareness in our community. We also use flyers and newsletters around the hospital that are free to take and explain our key messages. At the Mater, we believe it's important to be as open and inclusive in communication as possible, so we use many different channels to ensure this. Being the professional communicator at the Mater Hospital, it's important to realise you're communicating to an entire community, so your audience is incredibly diverse. Because the hospital is used by such a large amount of people, it's important to make sure you're informing the public surrounding it what the hospital is doing for their staff, patients, and the entire community. We do this by using social media to share stories of success from patients and staff, and for our audience that don't use social media, we use newspaper and television and flyers around the hospital, which is used to release important information. The Mater is a community who welcomes everyone, and we strive on the importance of easy communication. The Mater is a safe place, and we want our community to trust that we are there for them.